Yes, guys, big up to everyone. Thank you for joining me yet again. I hope everyone's doing well. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. You know how it goes around here. Put spam the ones in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. I would appreciate it because my microphone's a bit cack. But big up to everyone. Guys, we've got a big show tonight. We've got loads to talk about. I've got K-Mac who's going, I'm just going to bring him in 1 second. We've got loads to talk about. We're going to talk about Darwin Nunez, Gravenberch. Are they disrespected by the Liverpool fan base? Are people going too over the top on these players? I think so. I'm going to give my opinions why, and I think I've got K-Mac's opinions as well that he's going to give you all. So before we get on with the show, don't forget, hit that like button, guys. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button, especially the like button, guys. Before I get K-Mac in, I just want to say one thing. I am going to try my best. I'm going to change this channel around a little bit. So my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of 2024. That's my goal, to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So I've got 12 months to do it. I need 5,000 extra subscribers. So there's going to be a lot more content, guys. A lot more content coming up every day of the week. I'm going to go back to doing morning shows, my newspaper morning shows at 10 a.m. We'll be doing evening shows, everything. It's going to be a madness. But guys, hit that like. It's the best way this channel grows. Hit that like button. Big up to everyone in chat. Let's bring K-Mac in, my man. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. It's been a while.
10,000? You'll do that, mate.
Yeah. Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
You'll do that. Anyone who's in the chat now who hasn't subscribed, just subscribe. It's free. Yeah. Do it.
Well, I just sip my tea. Because I'm an old man now, so tea at night, you know.
I'm older than you.
Yeah. Right, guys. I hope everyone's doing well, though, and you're looking forward to your weekend. Obviously, Liverpool haven't got no football for 10 days now, or just a week now, really, because we don't play again till next weekend, because this is our winter break, you know, we're having now. So I thought we'd talk some interesting stuff. Before I get to the Darwin Nunez and Gravenberch stuff, there's been some talk lately and look, Liverpool are a buy to sell to buy football team. That's what we are, and so are a lot of other clubs now. But the way FFP is moving right now, you hear these stories about Newcastle today, mates. You look at Man City for the last 2 seasons and their net spend. They're selling to buy now. You know, their net spend. With the weight, and it's Premier League regulations as well, is that Premier League profit sustainability thing that's at the problem at the moment, because there's no movement in this January transfer by any of the big clubs. And I don't think there's going to be either, K-Mac. Do you think we're coming to a time now where it looks like we might end up being like every club might end up being sell to buy because of the way the rules are at the moment?
I spoke about this a couple of months ago, where we kind of did a show on FSG and Liverpool FC and also FFP. I think we're ahead of the curve. Like, if you look at our manager anyway, our manager's ahead of the curve. Like, he's the guy that talked about 5 subs. He's the guy that talked about winter breaks. You know, he's the guy that was looking after players' well-being, players' welfare, you know, sustainability. You know, it's all about that. He's always ahead of the curve, and the club's been ahead of the curve with the whole FFP side of things. The thing about it as well is, I also felt that we were going for the European Super League because it felt like we weren't going to ever get anywhere in the league, because Man City were just going to spend, which they did, and they broke all those rules. We all know they have. There's no way there's no way you're under investigation for 135 FFP rules if you haven't broke any. Like, one of those rules should probably get you 10 points. Look at Everton. You know what I mean? So I just feel like we're ahead of the curve, and a lot of people are probably trying to catch up. And a lot of people did take our blueprint of the way we did things in transfers for a long time. I know we probably took it from other teams, but it was a collaboration of, you know, Michael Edwards literally getting these gems, and, you know, and the whole sustainability model kind of went on from there. You know, we're probably not going to buy anyone this window, because we've done such good business, and we probably will sell a few players. So, yeah, a lot of teams are catching up.
And before anyone comes at us saying, "Oh, you're just saying this so everyone comes down to FSG's level," it's not what we're saying for it, because that will be people.
I mean, if we bought Caicedo, then we would have been probably like 80 odd million in the red. Like, let's be fair. And we went for him, so it could have been a different situation.
And this is something I know the Liverpool owners have always spoke about, the FFP, and obviously this is not really FFP. This is, Premier League. It's the Premier League sustainability rules, which, let's just put it all in FFP, because it's all sort of like the same kind of thing in a way, but
just rebranded.
Yeah, and it's just the Premier League's version of FFP, basically. That's what it is, and
it's them covering their asses because the fact they haven't done anything for years.
Yeah, and if you look at the most financial back team in the country, apart from Newcastle, is Man City. And if you actually look at their last 2 transfer windows, they have a small net spend, very small net spend, because they've been selling a lot of players for a lot of money to be able to go and buy players for a lot of money. If you look at the issue of Arsenal right now, so Arsenal are going for a bit at the moment where they might not be able to buy this January because they spent so much money in the last few seasons and hardly got any back in return. They won't get Eddie Nketiah off their books, but they gave him $100,000 a week because he had a few good months, in a new contract, which is madness. And now they can't get rid of him. They decided to buy Now, I know this is the thing Arsenal fans are annoyed with, that they went and spent 65 million on Kai Havertz, a player they didn't need. So now that's limiting their spending this January. You look at Newcastle. Now, this is the big thing with Newcastle. They're the wealthiest team in the world, right? They're the richest team in the world, but they have no power because they can't spend. If you look at Newcastle spending, they have spent a lot of money, but they've hardly recruited any transfer fees back. And at the moment, Newcastle are they've got this wealth now, but they've got nothing. They've got, where Man United, Liverpool, and City, I use quotation marks to see, where they got this massive fan base, and they got all this massive revenue coming in. So them teams can spend a little bit more without selling as much. Newcastle haven't got that yet. So they need to sell players, which is mad. And you're looking at what is it today? The 13th, the 12th of January, coming up to the 13th of January. There is no movement in the transfer market yet. They don't look like there's going to be movement. And it's all to do with this FFP Premier League sustainability rules. And was our owners ahead of the curve, K-Mac? I mean, were they ahead of the curve? But if they were ahead of the curve, should they still be spending a little bit more because of the revenues we do have?
I would say that we're a club that basically has an umbrella to cover themselves. Like, okay, I'm just going to name I'm going to name 3 players actually. Okay, just for an example. Okay, and if this happened to us, could you imagine the meltdown? So can you imagine if we bought Pepe, who cost 80 million for Arsenal? How good was he? Yeah. He was an absolute flop. He was rubbish. And he's now at another club on loan. He's been on a couple of loans now. They're not going to get a penny for him. Okay, that's just one player. Then you can go to Tottenham. Dombele, 80 million, another £80 million player. Nothing. He's on loan at another club. They're not going to get any money for him. You got Manchester United with Jadon Sancho, 73 million. Nothing. When's the last player we bought that was a flop that cost a lot of money? I can't name one. Because, okay, you can talk about Benteke or Andy Carroll. There's still only £30 million players. These are like double and more. And there's a lot of clubs making huge transfer mistakes across the board. Like, and I'm not even talking big clubs. I'm talking small clubs as well. Like, making big transfer errors. We don't do it. I can't believe someone's wrote Darwin Nunez in there. Jesus Christ. I've got a stat on Darwin Nunez, which will just shut everyone up. Okay.
Yeah, hold
And
on
Naby
to the Darwin
Keita,
stuff.
you want to have a look at our win record with Naby Keita. We never lost any games with Naby Keita in the team, by the way.
Yeah,
Naby Keita was just injuries. He wasn't a flop. He wasn't a flop.
Yeah.
He was just injured.
I think
Jesus.
I think you have to put. I think the thing with Naby, though, I think you have to put Naby in the flop category because of the ability we know he had, the push that he had when he came to the club, and then he never played. So I think because of that reason,
He was injured a lot. Like
yeah,
when he
so
played, he was actually we were good. We played really well when he was in the team.
Keita. He just couldn't stay fit. If Naby Keita could have a Curtis Jones run in the team, you'd probably see how good a player Naby Keita was. But he had
he's
5
injured now, by the way.
Yeah, he's injured now. He's
injured now. We just don't make risky choices. Like we do our due diligence on a lot of players, and we may, there's a lot of teams that may just buy players because they were good for like 6 months, that kind of stuff, or they had a good World Cup, like Gerard Houllier for example. God bless his soul. With El Hadj Diouf, but we just don't do it. We do massive amount of research, and
data driven.
I mean, you just look at some of the players we signed Darwin Nunez. Like we were scouting Nunez for about 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? We do our research, and when these come into the team, they're normally a hit. Like they're normally a hit, and if you say the players we haven't signed aren't a hit, then I don't know what you're smoking, because we're top of the league, top of every league, and we haven't even played that well yet.
Yeah, go talk about
and all these players are playing.
What we're going to do, guys, this conversation's a good one. I'm going to do it in a future video about this FFP stuff and Premier League sustainability regulations and all that. I'm going to talk about it in a future video, because I think it is something we've got to seriously look at, because the longer this month goes on, no clubs signing, especially big clubs, it's going to be interesting, because, everyone's saying, how can Newcastle, because I've been seeing things saying, like people on Twitter going, how can City keep spending but Newcastle can't? And it's because Newcastle have not sold anyone for any profit compared to how much they've spent. I think their highest value player they sold was that striker they had last year that they never from Burnley.
Maximum,
wasn't it?
Oh no, Maximum went to Saudi Arabia.
20 mil, wasn't it?
20 mil, yeah.
Yeah, and Woods for
Chris
like
Woods was like 15.
Mil, yeah,
they lost 10 million on him, by the way. Exactly. He cost 25, and they sold him for 15.
This is the issue. Now they're looking at losing Bruno Guimaraes because they need to sell that level of player. But go talk about that in a future video, because I really do think it's interesting. Big up, first of all, before we carry on with this show, big up Hennessy in the chat. Big up Jamie. My son was just born. We are both watching your show. Big up Hennessy. I hope baby and mum are doing really well. And congratulations to you, my friend. Big up to you. Big up to everyone in the chat. Keep it level. Lee, praise, drunk. Brett, hope you're doing well. Honesty in the chat as well. Frankie baby in the chat. Hope you're doing well. See Jerry James in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well, Jerry. Mike's in the chat. Russell's in the chat. BW, Gory. Big up to all of you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Philip, hope you're all doing good, guys. So go and smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to all the people around and following their channels as well. Amar in the house. Ronite in the house. How you doing? Good, John. Bruno in the chat. So Ryan Gravenberch and Darwin Nunez. This is going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to start with Darwin first. Let's leave Ryan Gravenberch to the side a minute. We'll pick him up in a minute.
Can we leave him to the side?
Let's leave him on the curb a minute, and we'll drive by and pick him up in a minute. Let's talk about Darwin first, man. So I've gone. Big up Kevin in the chat as well. Ali, and big up to all you guys in the chat. Darwin, I've gone up and down with him since he came to Liverpool. I ain't gonna lie,
me too.
We've been up and down with the kid.
I was with you, mate.
But this is what I'm going to say on Darwin, and I'm going to say this: Darwin's a shit finisher, yeah? I think we can all agree with that. He's not the best finisher, yeah? He's not a good finisher. But, before everyone comes at me, but you can't leave him out of our team.
Nope.
And this is the problem. He's actually a good player.
Yep.
He is miles better on the wings. There's no doubt about it. Especially when he plays left wing. He's a completely different player. It's
Give him
like...
space.
I don't know what it is. When I watch Darwin play left wing, it's like a weight comes off his shoulders that he doesn't have to score in a way as being the main number 9. That, and then all the weight's on his shoulders and he can play with more freedom on the wings.
Who does that remind you of? Trent.
He reminds me of
Trent when he
Trent.
hasn't got to defend.
Do you know who else Darwin Nunez reminds me of a little bit? Dirk Kuyt.
Yeah.
Dirk Kuyt was a striker. We bought him as a striker. He
did score a few goals, Kuyt, though.
Kuyt was a good player. Kuyt was a very good player for Liverpool in his time under.
Got a hat-trick against Man United. Do you remember that?
The smallest hat-trick ever, wasn't it? It was 2 yards the furthest one out.
2 yards.
Dirk Kuyt was a striker when he came to Liverpool. He was always a striker, and then he ended up being a right winger because his work rate, his tenacity, and his team play suited his style better for Liverpool out on the right wing and Fernando Torres through the middle. And it just suited us. And then I think Dirk Kuyt went to play there for the rest of his career, really, even for the Dutch team. Dirk Kuyt could finish though, but so can Darwin. Darwin can finish. He's just not a great finisher. I think Darwin last season was a better goal scorer, but most of his goals came from left wing. He didn't really play through the middle. Gakpo played through the middle most of the time. Darwin played on the left. And I remember last season, everyone was saying, Darwin actually looks all right on the left, he runs. His pace is frightening. He frightens defenders. There's no doubt about it. He stretches the opposition. He's busy. He never hides. He's actually better technically on the wide areas than he is in the middle. Like I see him the other day against Fulham. He came off the bench and he's in these wide areas and he's just taking fullbacks on all the time. He's going left foot, right foot, taking them back, checking back, stopping them, going past them. I'm like, why hasn't he got this technical ability when he's number 9? So there's obviously something in his mindset that at the moment he knows he's not scoring goals and it's an issue. And when he plays out wide, he's a different kind of footballer. For me, I'm going to keep saying it. Darwin's not a great finisher. Also, you can't drop him either, K-Mac. That's as far as I think.
No way. Okay, I'm going to give you this stat on Nunez, okay? I like my stats.
Go for it.
There's only one player in the Premier League who's got a better goal-assist ratio per 90 minutes than Darwin Nunez. And can anyone in the chat guess who that is right now? And I'm not talking about the cyborg, Haaland. Plays for Aston Villa. He's basically having the game of his life this season.
Ollie Watkins, yeah.
Ollie Watkins. And the only reason Ollie Watkins has got a better goal and assist, so GA ratio per 90 minutes than Nunez, is because he scored 2 goals in the Conference League. Darwin Nunez has got a goal or an assist every 86 minutes.
Yeah, Watkins.
That is this season. That is unbelievable. Like, that's better than anyone else in the Premier League, apart from Ollie Watkins. Like, seriously. Like, if he's not scoring, he's assisting. And if he's not doing either, he's having 5+ shots a game. Like, there's no one else in the league that has that many shots on goal. And I'm not talking like 5 misses. I'm talking 5 shots where the goalkeeper could save 3 of them. Like, it feels like he's unlucky with goalkeepers. Like, some of the chances that he's having are being world-class saves, or they're just having random ricochets when they go in off the keeper normally or a defender, but they're just going wide.
It's like that one against Fulham. I don't think that was his fault.
two world-class saves, mate.
I just think that was
even the header. The header was point blank in the top bin. That was a brilliant. They were alley saves. I just feel that just on Nunez' defence, I feel like when he's put up against two defenders, because he is, by the way, because he plays down the centre, and he hasn't got the guys who take away the defenders, because we don't have runners from midfield that often, really. There's only Jones, really. So Bolsay has to do too much defending because Trent cuts in. So he hasn't got those players that are taking away defenders, and that's what Bobby used to do for Salah and Mane, but it's the other way round. He's the front man now, so other players have to take away those defenders. So when he gets the ball, he's got two men on him straight away in the centre of the pitch up front. So when he's on the wing, he's got more space, and he's only got the left back or maybe a midfielder who's chasing him to actually take the ball off him. So he's got more freedom, and he can also cut in. He can go wide. We know he can dribble. We know he can shoot. I personally think left wing is him. That's his position just to keep for me. I know we like Diaz, and I know Klopp likes Diaz, but I've still not seen a good performance on the left side from him this season, really. He looked better on the right, if I'm honest. I don't know why.
I have been saying that.
Yeah, but
no, with
this
Darwin,
isn't a conversation about that.
And Scraps is right. You two change right of way. He can't keep up. It's because I've been thinking about it, Scraps. That's what I've been saying. I've looked at it as a whole now. This is what I'm saying with Darwin. I'm going to say this for all the time now. At this moment, he's not a very good finisher. Can his finishing improve? I hope it can. But
I don't think it ever will.
No,
I don't think it will.
The attributes he's got to his game, I wouldn't drop him because he is quite creative. I'll give him credit for this. He is quite creative. He's actually probably one of the most apart from Salah, I'd actually say Darwin's our most creative striker, our most creative forward. He creates chances for himself and others. He stretches the opposition. He's busy. He never hides like a lot of players do. He never hides. He's always there. He's always involved. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't drop him. I've just been watching. I'm trying to work out what Darwin Nunez is to Liverpool. Forget what Darwin Nunez is to Uruguay, and forget what Darwin Nunez is to Benfica. What is Darwin Nunez to Liverpool?
Can I give you one word? He's a spark.
Yeah,
he just electrifies he just sparks our team into life. He really does. Can you imagine playing against a guy that misses sitters over and over again and still runs at you and still shoots, and his head doesn't go down, or your goalkeeper makes a world-class save, or you tackle him and you're like, yeah, stop that, and then he just comes at you again, and you're like, how do we stop this guy? How do we make him doubt himself? He never stops. And if he's not doing it for himself, he's doing it for someone else. And I just think that is just an incredible asset and trait to have as a player in your team. It's a very rare commodity to have a guy that is just never takes the knock. He's never down on anything. He reminds me a bit of have we had any players for Liverpool who've been like that before?
Well, do you know what it reminds me of? Yeah, do you know what it reminds?
Suarez.
I see everyone saying, "Did we buy him as a goal scorer?" I don't think we did.
Reminds me of Suarez.
Because Mo Salah is at Liverpool. Mo Salah is Liverpool's main goal scorer, and he will be till the day he leaves. It's just a fact. Bobby Firmino was never Liverpool's main goal scorer, although he wore the number 9 and played through the middle. He was never meant to be Liverpool's main goal scorer. And apart from one season, the whole time he was at Liverpool, he was never Liverpool's main goal scorer. Bobby Firmino scored 9 Premier League goals the year we won the Premier League. 9 Premier League goals. No one got onto him. No one slagged him off because of the amount he creates for the other two people that were our main goal scorers in Mane and Mo Salah. They were our main goal scorers. They played as inside forwards. I'm not saying Darwin's like Bobby because no one's like Bobby, but that's the role he's at. You know, Klopp said it already. Yes, he needs to score more goals, but I don't rely on him to score the goals for Liverpool. You know, because he's creating enough. You know, he's looking at Diaz to get more goals, Darwin to get more goals. Mo's the main goal scorer, but he wants Gakpo to chip in. He wants Szoboszlai to chip in. He wants all these players to chip in with extra goals. Uh, I just feel like looking at Darwin as a whole now. I just got to think what he is to Liverpool. You know, I would have Darwin Nunez over Gabriel Jesus every day of the week. Right, I'd have him over Gabriel Jesus every day of the week, in my opinion. And it's what he is to Liverpool. I'm not looking at Darwin to be our main goal scorer. Mo Salah's our main goal scorer.
I think we just need to look at. I think we need to look at Liverpool differently now. Like, we aren't that team. We're not the old Liverpool. Like, we don't have a Mane. We don't have a Bobby Firmino. Like, I know we tried Gapco to do that, but it's not worked, and he's not done it since, really. We've got different types of players who are doing different roles now. You know, Salah's being more creative. Salah's not getting in the box as much as he used to because he's not having the space created for him by anybody else. So there's a lot of players that are still trying to find exactly how they fit. I still don't know where Gapco fits. Like, he's left, he's right, is he centre? He's being played in midfield. You know, it seems it is that transition season, but we are flying. But Nunez is a very special player, and I weren't comparing him to Suarez as in skills and goals. I was comparing him to Suarez as in mentality and the way he plays. He's just full on, full throttle. Like, defenders hate him. The fans go nuts when he comes on the pitch, mate. Like Liverpool fans absolutely adore him. Like, he has to play every game at home because he's just a different element to us. And the thing about it as well, and this is something that I thought about as well, why doesn't Nunez score enough goals? Nunez isn't playing against world-class goalkeepers. Nunez is playing against world-class goalkeepers now. The goalkeeping standard and the defending standard in Portugal and Spain Division 2 is a lot less than the Premier League. The Premier League is the elite. They're the best in the world. So, you know, is he not scoring enough goals against goalkeepers because they're better goalkeepers? Or is he not getting better chances and finishing them because we've got better defenders? You have to look at it like that. There's a lot of players that come to the Premier League striker-wise, and they're absolutely tearing it up in their other countries, and then they're duds, and they can't cut it in the Premier League. Sometimes you have to look at that scenario as well. Maybe he's just not that good in the Premier League at scoring, but if he went to France or Germany or Spain, he'd just start smashing them in again. You know what I mean? You have to look at it that way as well.
Yeah, I think that we'll always be frustrated with Darwin because he misses easy chances. That is what's going to frustrate us fans. I get it. I do understand it. It's just he has got a good. I will give Darwin Nunez this. His mentality is high because I don't know many strikers who miss easy chances like him, but then still never hides in a game. You know, I think I've only seen Darwin hide once in all the time he's been at Liverpool, and his mentality is strong. He's got good attributes to his game. I do think he's a good footballer. I think there is something special about him. But I think we just got to look at it now that he's not that goal scoring striker. It was the same with Dirk Kuyt. I remember when Liverpool got Dirk Kuyt from Holland and everyone was like, oh, this is the forward we got now to get us going. He's going to be excellent. And he just weren't that forward and he turned into a right winger. You know, Bobby Firmino was our main striker, but he weren't really our main striker. But you look at Darwin, I feel if Darwin plays on the wings, I think he's just a different kind of player and he gives us a lot in them wide areas. I really do. I think Darwin actually gives us more when he played. If you compare all the Darwin's games on the left wing to Luis Diaz's games on the left wing, I think Darwin's better and gave us more in that left wing period in a small frame. But I think Luis Diaz is getting better now. I think at this moment in time, a Darwin Nunez, a Jota, and a Luis Diaz front three is really exciting. While Mo's away, I think that's a really exciting front three. You can also put Gakpo in there and sort one of them out as well. So I think there's enough. And
I think Gakpo works in a 4-2-4.
Yeah.
I think that works. Like Gapco's very intelligent. Like makes brilliant runs. How many tap-ins does that guy get? Like seriously, like, he scored so many goals from inside the goalkeeper's area. Like this season, very good player. Like that finish was really good against Fulham.
Yeah. I just want to have a look at Dirk Kuyt's Liverpool stats.
I think he was. Did he cost us like 12 million? He was quite expensive at the time.
Yeah, something like that.
I think he scored over 50 goals, by the way.
I just want to have a look at his Liverpool stats, really. Let me just get them up. Hang on.
He's a manager now, by the way.
Yeah, he looks completely different as well.
Yeah, he's a manager.
So Darwin Nunez. So Dirk Kuyt got 35 assists and 51 goals for Liverpool.
Oh, how close was I? I said 50.
In 208 Premier League, this is Premier League only. So in 208 Premier League games, he got 51 goals and 35 assists. Darwin Nunez is easily on same. I mean, Darwin Nunez is on that trajectory right now. So if I put in Darwin Nunez, let's have a look at Darwin. Have a look at Darwin. So, I mean, assist-wise, Darwin will be on that trajectory as well. You know, playing as a winger. You know, Darwin's played a lot less games.
I think he's on about 15 assists, maybe 16.
So this season alone, he's got 10 assists and 8 goals. In this season alone,
He got 6 last season on 5.
Let's have a look. Sorry, guys, I should have had this prepared, but I didn't. So at the moment, in the Premier League only, he's played 48 games. He's got 14 goals and 9 assists. So his trajectory, and that's 48 games. Dirk Kuyt had 50 and 35 in 208 games. So Darwin's on that same kind of Dirk Kuyt stats. So yeah, I'm fine. This is what I look at Darwin now. It's like my Uruguayan version of Dirk Kuyt with more pace. That's what it is for me. I remember Dirk Kuyt used to miss loads of chances. I think Darwin can be quite creative. He's our most creative, apart from Mo Salah, he's our most creative forward without a shadow of a doubt. So he's not the best finisher in the world, but he's also a little bit undroppable for me.
He's got more assists than Salah now, by the way.
Yeah,
Salah's on 9. He's on 10.
I will be frustrated every time I still watch Darwin because it just make me frustrated. But guys, here's one for you. I'm frustrated when I watch Mo Salah as well.
Yeah.
And Mo Salah's got 151 Liverpool goals, and I shouldn't be frustrated, but I do get frustrated with Mo Salah. So the frustrations will continue, but I understand why he's important to Liverpool. Big up Dixie for the super chat. Much appreciate. Have the faith, lads. Yeah, have faith. Exactly.
I think we just have to come to terms that Liverpool are going to miss big chances in games, whether whatever player it is now. We miss big chances. How many times have you seen Virgil miss a big chance, like from a corner? Like it
Virgil
happens.
Should have miles more goals than
it happens. Like we miss big chances in games, but guess what? We create them. Would you rather we didn't create them, and then we don't even get chances? Because there's so many teams that get very rare chances.
What I would say, wait till Darwin has played 208 games for Liverpool in the Premier League, the same as Dirk Kuyt, and then let's have a look at his stats.
He'll have over 100 goals.
He's not even in his second season yet. You know, he's only had 1.5 seasons. Let's give it time, man. Let's give it time. I can see why. I can see why he plays.
I do feel like a team's. I do feel like he's just going to batter someone soon. Like it's just going to be every single one goes in. You know what I mean? Like a bus. Like a bus. You're waiting for ages and then 3 come at once. It's going to be the same with Nunez. Like, and it could be Bournemouth. Could be Bournemouth. Could be Fulham away. Could be Arsenal. You know, Palace. Have we got Palace? Have we got Palace?
I'll tell you who's the most overweight. I'll tell you who's the most overrated forward in the league. Ivan Toney. He's so overrated. It's mad. It's so overrated. How many goals does he get from open play?
I think Jesus is the most overrated
How
forward.
many goals does Ivan Toney get from open play?
They get a lot of penalties.
Not set piece goals, open play goals.
I think he had the best season he's ever had last season. I think he got like 16, wasn't it, last season?
How many of them were open play?
I don't know, probably 10. He takes their free kicks as well, doesn't he?
And people want to spend 100 million on him. No.
How many of those were from a long throw?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not spending 100 million on Ivan Toney. You know, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I like Ivan Toney. He's a good player, but he's just not 100 million. When I mean overrated, guys, as well, it don't mean he's a crap player. It just means everyone overrates him. So his value in price has gone to 100 million. And for his age,
crazy.
I would never pay 100 million.
Crazy. Was he 28, 27, 28?
Yeah, I'd never pay 100
million. He's not worth 100 million, sorry.
He's never played. I don't think he's ever played in Europe. It's not proven. I just don't get it. I think he's a good footballer, though. I think there's a lot of good footballers, you know, that you can buy that ain't 100 million that are just as good, personally. But it's just me.
There's a much better player I'd have. I'd rather have Isak any day of the week.
Yeah, I bet you get Isak less than 100 million, and for me, Isak's a better forward.
I'd rather have him.
So yeah, I mean, it's just mad. It's just mad. I don't get it. But again, I like the player. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he's slightly overrated. You know, people get overrated players. It's fine. Don't mean they're bad players. As I said, Ivan Toney's a good footballer, but I wouldn't be paying £100 million for him. I don't know if anyone in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Would you go and pay £100 million for Ivan Toney? Like, just let me know in the chat, or would you think there's better out there for a lot cheaper, or even better than Ivan Toney for 100 million? Do you know what I mean? So let me know in the chat. That's what I mean by overrated. You know, I just don't get the Ivan Toney.
So Tony's what, 27, and he's got two Premier League seasons under his belt with Brentford.
Yeah, he didn't do it at Newcastle.
No. So okay, so you've got those 2 seasons.
So he flopped at Newcastle, I believe. He went to Peterborough, did really well at Peterborough, then went to Brentford. He's done well at Brentford. But the problem is, guys, sometimes players reach their level at a certain club, and it doesn't mean they're going to go on and be better because they're good at a certain club and good at a certain way of playing at a certain club. You know, you look at Benteke. Benteke was like Benteke reminds me of the Ivan Toney situation, in my opinion. Benteke at Aston Villa was doing stuff like Ivan Toney is now, and everyone rated him. Everyone said he's amazing. Like, this is the next special player. Villa have got an attacker here. Man United were looking at him. Everyone were looking at him. Liverpool went and bought him, and we couldn't get really a tune out of him because he didn't play to the way Brendan Rodgers likes to play, because Brendan Rodgers don't like crossing the ball. He just has to drive everything into the box. Then Klopp came along, and Klopp didn't even like Benteke. So Benteke got sold. And it doesn't mean they're bad footballers. They're good footballers. They just don't sometimes suit that level, that expectation. So, yeah, Benteke was a beast. Everyone forgets, man.
That's a really interesting comparison, that, because, yeah, we could sign Toney for 100 million and he ends up being a Benteke. Like, he's a good player, Toney, by the way. Like, I'm not saying he isn't.
No, I'm Tony's a good footballer, man.
But 100 million is just ridiculous. Like, it just is. Like Harry Kane was 85 million. Like, Harry Kane was like almost golden boot every single year in the Premier League. Like that he was at Tottenham. Like now that's a player worth 100 million at that age. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Like if that happened, if Tony went to Arsenal for 100 million, like that's just crazy. Like
I think Brentford are correct to ask for 100 million because
they want to put people off because they've got so many injuries.
But teams should be allowed to, they want to price their player at 100 million. Then he won't go for 100 million because no one's ever going to pay it because he's going to stay at Brentford this season and next season. He's going to be another year older, and no one's going. He'll end up leaving for free. That's what'll happen. He'll either end up leaving for free or sign a new contract with Brentford that's got a release clause in it. It's going to be one of the two.
It's an interesting comment there because someone wrote that he's got the attitude to play at a big club. Has he really? Like the guy's just been banned for gambling. Like for me, he's a bit of a scumbag to his club. Like, why do you need to gamble? Like you're being paid mega bucks by your club. Like, I'm sorry, I've lost quite a lot of respect for him because he put his club in the mire and he got himself banned for half a season. Like everyone's like feels sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him.
No,
like, the guy's being paid a huge amount of money. Much more than we can ever imagine ourselves.
I mean, if he's got an
still
addiction,
has to gamble.
Yeah, look, if he's got an addiction, then
he can jog on for me.
If he's got an addiction, then you need help with your addiction. I'm fine with that. But you do know all players know the rules. All players know the rules, and you shouldn't do that. And and when he's out on holiday and he's saying "fuck Brentford" and all this sort of stuff, and it's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. If any Liverpool player did that under Klopp, they wouldn't be here no more.
No.
Well, Sacco did it.
He stopped messing around on the camera, didn't he, on the pre-tour?
Yeah,
and then he didn't finish it.
Klopp tried to leave him at Alcatraz, and get back on the boat, and they just left Sacco. They didn't want him back. That was him gone. You don't. Yeah. Tonali is another scumbag. Don't bet. If you've got an addiction, get your addiction sorted. It's very hard admitting to addiction. It's very, very, gambling, alcohol, anything like that's an addiction, a vice. It's extremely difficult.
Have you seen that? Really Tony betted against Wigan while he played for them. My God. That's horrendous.
If you've got an addiction, it's very hard to admit your addiction and your vices, but you know the rules, man. Everyone knows the rules. Everyone knows the rules.
I tell you what, I hope he wasn't paid his wages while he was bloody banned,
I don't think Ivan Toney's going to Arsenal. I'd be shocked if Ivan Toney... Arsenal can't afford it.
I can see them doing a knee-jerk reaction, though, mate.
Yeah, they can't afford it. They have to sell. They have to sell. It's already been said. They have to sell. That's why they're going for. That's why what's annoying everyone is that they're going for Onana from Everton, who's terrible, so overrated. It's unreal. They're going for Onana from Everton, who's like 50 million, and everyone's like, "Why are you getting that when we need a striker?" It's because they can't afford the strikers. So they're trying to get this left-sided midfielder. But the problem is, Arteta believes in Havertz. He believes he will come good. So he's going to use him as a forward and get Onana in and play him in there. I just don't get this Onana stuff. I don't get the
do like Onana, by the way.
It's just all mad.
I do like Onana.
I don't get.
I do rate him.
I don't rate. Look, these are players I don't rate as highly as others. Declan Rice. This is going to be controversial. Declan Rice.
He's going in.
Polina.
Polina.
I rate players differently to some. I think Polina is a good DM. A good DM. I saw him get smashed to bits by McAllister the other night, by the way. I think he's a good DM who can sweep up and win the ball back and is good at interceptions. On the ball, he's dog shit. He ain't good enough on the ball. That's why he gets caught a lot. I mean, Alexis McAllister caught him on the ball so much. Endo caught him on the ball.
Endo smashed him. I remember that. I love that.
He's not great on the ball. I've had my saying, Declan Rice, he moves the ball too slowly. He hasn't got any passing range. He's very sideways. Watch him at West Ham, watch him at Arsenal. He's very side to side, keeps it easy, nothing over the top. The odd
he's
one
not
or two times.
He's just
The
not a
one
60
or
million
two
pound player
times he will
tops.
spray the ball and stuff like that, but no, not for
Well,
me.
all you need to know about Declan Rice is Arsenal are worse off with him in the team, and West Ham are better off with him out the team.
Yeah,
That's all you need to know about it.
it's because Xhaka last season moved the ball a lot quicker. So he moved the ball into space for Saka, Odegaard, and Martinelli to get onto because he sprayed the ball back. He moved it really quickly. And Thomas Partey is a better defensive midfielder than Declan Rice. So he swept everything up. You couldn't get
He's
past
got better
Partey last
range.
season.
Partey's got
Yeah, and
amazing
Partey's
passing
got a better
range.
passing range as well. So Partey and Xhaka have better passing ranges and move the ball quickly into the spaces for Odegaard to receive and get the ball out wide to Martinelli and Saka. This season, they're not. You watch them from midfield; they're very short passes. Now it could be instruction that is a positive, but it's. I just think that it's not Declan Rice's game to spray the ball like that. It's just not his game. He's that very, very good defensive midfielder that can sit there, control play with his simple passing, control the play, good interceptions, good ball reading of the game and stuff like that. That's what he's really good at. But the rest of it, not so. Not so. I actually think Endo is better on the ball.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's not.
Someone
great on
broke
the ball.
Balsamati Rice, more like
Scratch,
Buller Rice.
everyone can have a good pass, my friend. Everyone can have a good pass, but he's not. He's not great on the ball. He's decent at best. They're decent at best. I don't think Polina caused us any trouble the other day. I think the other midfielders did. All I ever saw was Polina getting absolutely smashed every time he had the ball. I mean, it's just
the only people who caused us trouble were ourselves. Every chance they got came from us arsing around.
See, this is the thing.
We should have won by a few more goals, by the way. Like, we had big chances in that game.
Yeah. If you like,
if Ali was in goal, that was 2-0. Like, that goal weren't going in if Ali was there.
Yeah.
But that's another show.
With Polina, I don't hate Polina. I just think he's overrated. Again, I think he's a good DM. I think he reads the game well. He wins. He's good at taking the ball off the centre backs, protecting the centre backs, letting the other midfielders go on to do their game. He's very good at that. But if you're looking at what Liverpool want in a defensive midfielder,
he's not.
They want a ball. They want a ball playing defensive midfielder who moves the ball quickly, who moves forward. Endo and McAllister both pass forward all the time. Yeah. Endo always looks up. He's always spraying balls over the top, over to the wide areas, getting the ball in through the middle, through the lines, through the channels. That's what Klopp wants from McAllister and Endo. That's why they play. And I don't think Polina is capable of that all the time. And I have seen Polina quite a lot now get caught in possession quite a lot. When people really come at him. Good defensive midfielder, though. Very good footballer. I just don't think he's this world-class DM that everyone goes on about. That's all. Just me. If City, Everton, Newcastle, and Barcelona stop spending FFP, should just be thrown out. Yeah, look, there's rumours that City are going to get 50-point deduction. I think, look, Tobidio, is it? How do you say his name?
Todibo.
Yeah, he's I think he's got more chance going to Man United than Liverpool because
we ain't doing business with Nice. I'm sorry, Russell.
No,
they're owned by Man United. We ain't doing any deals with Nice.
I think the geezer from Sporting.
Inacio.
Yeah, most likely.
There's only one guy I want. It's only one guy I want on the left-hand side now, and that's Robinson. I think he's absolutely fantastic. He's perfect for us.
Yeah, you and me have been
he
mentioning
really is.
before, haven't we? Be out, Gory. You were spot on with Endo, Jamie. You're so good with the quick pass forward. Like, seriously, that's what I've been saying with Endo all the time. He's not the end. He's not. Is he a better DM? Is Rice a better DM as him as a defensive midfielder? Yes. Is Polina as a better DM than him as a defensive midfielder? Yes.
Yeah.
But does Endo give us that something different compared to them two on the ball? Yes. And that's why Klopp. Remember what Klopp said? He's been after him for 3 years for his ball playing skills. You know what I mean? That's all I kept saying. And I'm not comparing them because comparing footballers is stupid because it's all about systems today, guys. Football's all about systems. So you get a player to suit your system under your manager. Why do you reckon Chelsea are having so much issues? Because they're just buying players for the sake of it with not knowing what the manager wants to do as a system. So it doesn't work. So then they sack the manager and get another one in. And it's like, oh, this ain't still ain't working. Why ain't this working? Let's go and buy more players. It's like, it's just, look at Man United. It's
Can I tell you an incredible stat about Chelsea? This is brilliant, this. Okay, last year, Chelsea were in the same position right now, and they had 1 point more. Did you know that, chat?
Man.
And they think Poch was going to save them. They were in the same position last year at this time, 10th, and they had more points. They had 1 more point under Lampard. Take that to the bank.
That's mad, isn't it? Jamie, question. Well, K-Mac, is Nunez low on confidence?
No, he's not low in confidence at all. He's absolutely buzzing. Like, have you seen him in the games? like when someone scores, he's annoyed. That's not low in confidence. That means he really wants to get on the score sheet. It will come. It will come.
Yeah, exactly. Scratch says, so Tony and Polina are overrated, but Nunez is good because he runs about. No, Nunez is not over. He's not rated. So this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not talking to him as a player. Nunez isn't rated. Everyone hates him apart from some Liverpool fans. Even a lot of Liverpool fans don't rate him. So he's not rated. What I mean by Tony is that everyone goes on about him like he's the Messiah, like he's going to fix everyone's problems if he was available. And I just don't know if that's to be true. So that means he's overrated. Polina, everyone keeps going on about him like if we get Polina, then we're winning everything. Again, that's overrating a player. Darwin's not even rated. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not slagging players off. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It's just mad to me. It's just mad.
That stat by Mike Diaz? What's that stat? Can you bring that up?
Hang on 1 sec. And this is true as well. Like Rodri does everything. Rodri DMs better than anyone, and then it's got an amazing passing range and can shoot. You know, Rodri's just the ultimate package. You know what I mean? Big up Pete True.
Rodri's basically a cheat code in your midfield.
Yeah, he's just different gravy. That's why Liverpool. Why do you reckon Liverpool want you Chouameni? Because he's similar. He does everything. That's why Liverpool wanted him. Darwin just lacks composure. I don't know if he'll ever get it. He does create it, but if he had 15 conversion rated score, look.
Yeah.
If Darwin 100%. could finish, he'd arguably be the best forward in the world.
Yeah.
Because he's got everything else.
Honestly, his XG stats are like Messi's. Like seriously, like it's nuts. Like it'd be nuts. Big up.
None of the best strikers on luck need. I suppose everyone needs luck in life, man.
I think he's been unlucky with quite a few chances, like this season.
So I've had everyone's going to come at me in the comments now about the Polina, the Ivan Toney, and the right shot. It's just my opinion, guys. If you don't have to agree with my opinion. You can have your own opinions, and it's all good. It's just my footballing opinion. You know, I don't think Ivan Toney would come to Liverpool and change much. You know, especially for the transfer price you'd have to pay. It's like Chelsea are just go. Apparently, Chelsea are going to break the British transfer record for Evan Ferguson from Brighton. Well, that means they're going to have to spend 120 million on him to get Evan Ferguson.
I mean, are they literally going to buy Brighton? Like, I think Brighton have had about 300 million off them in the last 2 years.
I don't get it. That's the man even scored this season. I mean, how many scored last
How much is Brighton's football club? Are Chelsea going to buy it? Like,
what did he do last season? Did he get 6 goals?
He's not been great since he came back from the injury. By the way, like he's not scored enough goals to be a striker, like your main striker. He just hasn't. I think João Pedro's better. He's a good player though, but he's still like 19, isn't he? He's still a kid.
Yeah, and one spent
I mean, if you're going to
120
break a
million.
transfer record, then you buy Victor Osimhen, who basically is going to leave. He's going to leave their club because his own players hate him now.
Right, ground duels is the most overrated stat for anyone in midfield. It's so overrated. Where were the ground duels won? Now, this is the problem with ground duels. How were they won? Where were they won? Easily were they contested? Did the player just run in front of him? Did he slide in and tackle? Did he intercept? This is what I'm saying about these stats. And again, I'm not saying Polina ain't a bad DM. Everyone's going overboard here. I just said he's a good DM. What he does as a defensive midfielder is really good. He just hasn't got the passing range for a defensive midfielder that apparently Liverpool are looking for. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
He'd be a backward step because we need more mobility and more forward passing, which is something which we haven't had before in that position. So I agree with the fact that if he did come for Liverpool, we'd end up doing more defending, if that makes sense. We'd be on the back foot more in midfield, I feel, because he is slow. He's not a great passer. I think his passing completion ratio is like about 70, maybe 75, which just isn't enough. Like Curtis Jones is like 98. You know what I mean? McAllister's are like in the 90s. Dom's is in the 90s. You know what I mean? They need to be really high. Even Endo's is like high 80s, and he's under pressure quite a lot as well in the position that he plays. And you just look at the way they play. It's forward thinking. Paulini is sideways. It's a bit like Henderson, really, if I'm honest. Like, but he is a good destroyer. But Klopp said we don't need a destroyer. That's not what he wants.
Yeah, that's all I've ever gone on.
And can we complain?
Yeah, this is the only thing I've ever gone on. What Jurgen said he wanted in the six. He said it a few weeks ago in that press conference when someone brought it up as a DM thing, and he explained what he's looking for in the midfield now. He's not looking for a lone DM anymore. See, I don't think Declan Rice can play as a lone DM. I think he has to be with somebody. Yeah, and that's not a disrespect to him. Casado can't play as a lone DM. That has been shown at Chelsea now. Casado has to be partnered with someone in a double pivot. That's why him and McAllister look fantastic together. Yeah, because McAllister brought the best out of Casado. Casado as a lone DM is not good enough. Same with Rice. They need to be partnered with people. Polina, to his credit, can play that lone DM role. To his credit, Polina can play that lone DM role, and he's extremely good at it. That's why Bayern Munich wanted him, because he can play that role. My thing is always just the ball playing part of it, guys. Not how good they are as a DM, because he's a good DM. Real Madrid. Yeah, Real Madrid apparently don't want Mbappe now, but they want Haaland. It's all bollocks. Big up Gang and Deep, how you doing? The Nunez disrespect may come from a large section hyping him up and comparing Suarez, Torres, and Haaland, and chanting his name for chaos delusional. Yeah, look, I get you, Gang and Deep, and that's what we've been saying. I've come to the realization now that he's not a great finisher, but he's sort of undroppable from the Liverpool team at the same time. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on it. Big up, Paul. Jamie and K-Mac are part of the English disease that has plagued for decades. With pace and power, hard running is more valuable than being good on the ball. I see what you're saying, Paul. But Jordan Henderson won everything for Liverpool, and he weren't good on the ball. I think there's a time and place for different things in your team. If you look at what Dominic Szoboszlai does when he's not in a team, we actually miss him because of his running. You know, and he's also very good on the ball. He's technically a good footballer. But when he doesn't play, we actually miss his running on that right side of midfield, in that midfield three. It's evident. I get what you're saying. I do.
We're trying to move away from that style of football, and it's pretty obvious.
Because you look at players.
You look at all the goals and the assists that we got from midfield now. That never happened.
But if you
never happened before.
Is Endo more technical? Is Wataru Endo actually a more techie footballer than, say, Declan Rice? But Declan Rice has got pace and power.
Yeah.
You know, like, I want techie. If you look at Liverpool's midfield, Curtis Jones is technically a good footballer. Endo's technically a good footballer. McAllister's a technically good footballer. Szoboszlai is a good technical footballer. Harvey Elliott's a good technical footballer. But also Szoboszlai.
Gravenberch is as well, by the way. Gravenberch is very technical.
We're about to pick Gravenberch up and have that chat.
Yeah.
You know, that we got technical. Thiago's extremely technical.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a lot of technical midfielders, and also Szoboszlai's got PMP at the same time. It's what you want in your team. You know, you have to have this variety in your side, and you know, so some players got this, some players have got that. You know, Darwin Nunez at the moment. Look, Darwin Nunez changed the game against Fulham. We can't deny this. You know, we completely changed the game. We need players like this in our team. That's why I'm saying you need a Darwin Nunez in your team. You need a Mo Salah in your team. You need a Gakpo in your team, because they all come on at different intervals in time and do different things for us. When, you know, we've got two plans now. This is why I keep saying Liverpool have the second best squad in the Premier League. The evidence is clear. You know, we've got a Gakpo who can come on and be that more technical forward. You've got a Darwin who comes on and does PMP. You know, you've got a Mo Salah who's technical and everything, you know. You've got a Jota who's a goal machine. You know, you've got all these different players. You've got these midfielders that are just
Jota's very technical as well.
Yeah. So you've got a bit of everything in our squad, and you've got a variety in our squad. So when you need a certain player, you go, right, that's, you know, you look at, you know, Arsenal, United, City and Liverpool. Look at their forward lines. Apart from City, Liverpool have got the best forward line. Now, you look at Aston Villa as well. They've got a good forward line, but the Ollie Watkins thing, I just don't think it's going to last. So, but it's all about, you know, Liverpool can bring a Gakpo and a Jota on. It's a different world than bringing a Trossard on. You know,
I also feel that, like, Klopp said it earlier on this season, like, he wanted players that could do multiple jobs, because he had too many players in the team that once they were missing, that was missing out of the team because they all did individual roles. Now he's got players that can do interchangeable roles. Like Curtis Jones plays all across midfield. Yeah. Gomez plays all across the back. You know, you've got Harvey Elliott, Diaz, Jota, Nunez, Salah can play right across the front. Like, obviously Harvey Elliott can't play up front. But you look at all these players who can play multiple positions in teams. Like, I would say there's probably about 80% of other players in teams that couldn't do what our players do in our team if you had to move them. Like, they'd look out of place. It would take them time. But because of the amount of work that's been done in profiling these players and also working on them in the training outside of the games, they can play in these positions. Like Joe Gomez was playing like left back against Fulham, and then towards the end of the second half, he was playing in midfield. Like, you would never think Joey could do that. You know what I mean? I think it's a really good thing that we've got, and it also means if you get injuries, then you can swap players around as well.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
I am Scouse. Sorry.
You are Scouse, yes.
I'm not English, I'm Scouse.
Let's talk about the one. Ryan Gravenberch. He's getting a lot of stick at the moment from, you know, some Liverpool, not all Liverpool fans. I'm not going to put everyone in one under one blanket here, but there's a lot of Liverpool fans at the moment. You see it online. You see a lot of discourse about him at the moment. A lot of people saying he maybe not up to standard. You know, he's actually the fourth worst midfielder we bought this season. I've seen that. You know, that says something. You know, everyone's slagging with Tyrell Endo off, and now people are like, Tyrell Endo's actually better than we thought. You know, but Gravenberch is not living up to his standards that we thought. You see people tweeting now that, I can see why Bayern Munich let Gravenberch go. Look, this is the thing with Gravenberch. Yeah, this is the thing with Gravenberch. At Bayern Munich, he hardly played any football. I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know how many minutes or whatever he played at Bayern Munich, but it weren't a lot.
I think he played 13 games.
Yeah, I can't remember if he had much of a pre-season at Liverpool. I can't remember his pre-season at Liverpool, to be honest. I don't think he
didn't have one.
No. So he's coming in here quite raw. Yes, at the moment, I would say he's the midfielder out of all the new ones we bought that has not really settled yet. Well, I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, he's the one in our midfield that has not really settled yet. But as I've said this on Twitter, I've tweeted this out yesterday, I think, at Gravenberch, is that players peak at different times in their careers. You know, some players peak really early and then they're finished at 24, 25, i.e. my club. Yeah, they're sort of like they're done, they're finished. You know, I think Rooney, you know, he was an extraordinary young talent, you know, peaked around 26, 27. That was him done. Never really got better. You know, players mature at different levels as well. I just think Gravenberch is worth waiting on because there is something about his game that I like. He's a ball carrier. He can move the ball with his feet, as we saw against Fulham, where he got that shot off, but sort of sliced it wide. But you saw something there that he's got in his game. There's something there. He's got to get used to a new country, a different way of playing, and he's just not hit the ground running yet, like a Szoboszlai has, like a McAllister has, like a Wataru Endo has. You know, I actually think McAllister's been our best midfielder this season. People might disagree, apart from Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones has been Liverpool's best midfielder, but I think at the new people, I think McAllister's done a better job than people actually give him credit for. And I think before the injury, McAllister was just starting to work out his role in this team. And then he got the injury. Now he's got to come back again and do it again. I think with Gravenberch, we just got to give him time. I think we just got to give him time. There's a lot of talent there I see in Gravenberch. And for me, he's worth keeping around and giving that time too, because we could look silly by letting him go and he goes off and does something great somewhere else. And he's a young lad who's hardly played any football and not had a pre-season. So I think he's going to have a bit of an up and down year for me personally. I think this season's an up and down year for him. But then next season, I expect Ryan Gravenberch to come and be a lot better than he is right now. Don't know about you, K-Man. What's your feelings on him?
So for me, it's project. Okay. And I also feel that he was a panic buy. Because it was the last day of the window. We don't do well on the last day of the window recently. Like we ended up with Arthur last time on the last day of the window. I feel like it was one that it was one that just ended up being available, and we went for it. Maybe we shouldn't have, in hindsight, because you've got two very good managers in Tuchel and also who's the manager? Nagelsmann, who didn't like him, didn't want to play him. Nagelsmann could have played him, like he was playing eights. Tuchel said that he didn't play him because he wanted to play DMs. No, you didn't play him because you didn't want to play him, because like he's not a DM. Like, so don't say he's a DM when he's not. He's an 8 or a 10, and that's where he should have been played. But Nagelsmann didn't like him. Tuchel didn't like him. The problem I've got is all we've got to judge Gravenberch on is not his last season at Ajax, because his last season at Ajax wasn't great either, by the way, because he threw his toys in the pram and wanted to leave, and he ended up going because of it. It was the season before where they got really far in the Champions League, and he had some good games in front of like other people from other countries, because we get the Champions League games. So we're judging him when he was 18, turning 19, because that's what we've got to judge him off. So you can't really judge him now. He's 21. He's not played more than 30 games since the age of 19 to 21 under Bayern, and he's on a lot of money. Like, he's on a lot of money, and he is highly, highly talented. He's 6'4". He's built like a brick shithouse. He's got incredible control. He's got so much skill and capability, and he's so well built. He can't jump. He can't tackle. He looks tired all the time. Like, he needs a pre-season where Klopp just gets him in the gym and monsters him, makes him ride that bike around Austria, and then gets him in the team and gives him specific roles to do. Because at the moment, he's coming on to play with a different guy. He's coming on to play with another different guy. We can't say we've been great in the Europa League because a lot of them are quite disjointed because they don't play together normally. So he just needs time. But don't expect anything from him this season because he's not going to deliver. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Liverpool look at him as that project midfielder out of all the ones we bought. Endo's ready-made, McAllister's ready-made, and Szoboszlai, I know he's youngest at 22, but he's been playing, in Germany, for Salzburg and Leipzig, at a young age and been doing really well. So he's not he's not ready-made, but he's less of a project than Gravenberch.
He's played over 200 games.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Gravenberch is a project, and I can understand why Liverpool gone through it. I think he will turn out to be a very good signing, a bit of business by Liverpool in the future. He's just not hit the ground running right now, but there's a lot to his game that I really rate and like. At the moment, I think you can tell he's not fit. I think it's a fitness issue with Gravenberch at the moment. He's not played hardly any football in 12 months, and that's taking its toll. After 60 minutes, he looks completely dead on his arse, like really bad. He's not a very good impact sub. He's not a very good impact sub because it's just not. He hasn't got that energy from the subs bench at the moment because he hasn't got that fitness. That's why every time he comes off the bench, he looks a bit because he just hasn't got that fitness in him. So he hasn't got that energy to come off the bench and give us what we need. I will go back and look at. I think we need to wait till next season on Gravenberch. If he continues like this, say next January, then we got to have discussions because it ain't just a fitness issue. Then there's an actual problem. Like why aren't we getting the best out of him? Yeah. So I think we just got to leave it this season. Let him, get fit. I think it is a fitness thing, and once he's got his fitness, I think he will be. A better footballer for me.
I can tell you this though: if he'd have scored that goal, he'd have had an unbelievable game against Fulham. That would have just been a confidence thing. He put all their defenders on their arse and their goalkeeper because their goalkeeper was nowhere near that either. It was really, really good play. Just unfortunate that it went wide. But that could have literally been a sliding door moment for Gravenberch this season. Sometimes it's just like that.
Yeah, definitely.
That goes in. That could completely change his season.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gravenberch is just that. I rate it. I've said I think there's something about him that I rate. There's something about him that I rate, but yeah. If you got any Gravenberch stats, because the wife is just calling me. If you got any Gravenberch stats, you can, or then Nunez stats or whatever it is. I'm just going to take myself off a minute.
All right, I can just chat in here anyway. It's cool. All right. Has anyone got any questions then? And answer some questions if you want. Oh God! Don't keep on talking about John Lennon. So the interesting thing about Gravenberch as well is a lot of us only know Gravenberch from his Ajax days when he was just a kid. He was a 17, 18-year-old kid playing in the Champions League. That's what we remember Gravenberch from. And he played as an 8. He played as an attacking midfielder. That was his position. Now he's being given completely different roles. In that last game against Fulham, he was having to do the Dominic Szoboszlai role, which is basically running up and down. That's just not his game. Which is why we struggled in midfield in the first half in that game, is because he wasn't tracking runners. He doesn't do that role. He came into it a bit more later on. And in the end, he ended up going on the right wing, and Elliott came more central because he just wasn't doing that job. GTV, I do think we could win the league. I do think we'll win the league. I really do. I can feel it in my bones. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Let me get to this because I am getting sick to death of all. I get sick to death of it, right? Liverpool got to buy this, Liverpool got to buy that, Liverpool got to buy this, we've got to buy from a power of strength. And I understand that power of strength thing's correct, yeah? And everyone keeps going on about and talking about, when we was top of the league 4 years ago and we lost all our defenders and we didn't buy anyone, they're going to do the same thing this year. Why does everyone keep going on about when our squad weren't as good as it is now? This is what does my nutting. Our squad is far better now than it was a few years ago. It just is. Yeah, we've got more depth. Look at the depth we have off the bench. Hardly anyone in the league has the depth we have off the bench when we've got a fully fit team. Even with a half-fit team the other day, we still had enough depth to bring off the bench to change the game of football with all the injuries.
We did it against Arsenal and Fulham. The bench won us the games.
Exactly, because we've got depth off the bench, which means we've got a bloody
Brilliant.
good squad.
Got
now,
a good squad.
Do I want a defender? Yeah, I think we should get a defender this January because Liverpool go try and buy one in the summer because Matip's leaving. So just get it now, in my opinion. If the defender's there that's available that you've been scouting and all your data says this is the player we should get, because I can tell you right now, Liverpool have got 3 or 4 defenders that they've got their eye on. No one else. There's 3 or 4 defenders Liverpool have their eye on with all the data research and scouting they do and all the everything they do into it, like they do for their transfers. There'll be 3 or 4 centre backs they're looking at, and that's all they're looking at. And they're going to be working out if it's ideal to buy them this January or wait till the summer. Just get them this January because we are top of the Premier League. I don't think we need a DM, personally. We need this centre back because at the moment, we've got no left back, really, because Joe Gomez is covering there. But Robbo, by the sounds of it, will be back by the end of the month. I don't even think Tsimikas is that far away, according to
I think he's close as well. Feb.
Yeah, I don't think Tsimikas is all that far away. Apparently,
he's training
February.
already.
They're saying February. Tsimikas will be back, which is mad. Robbo will be back at the end of the month. People keep going on about, we should have 3 left backs at our club. This is the reason why we always fail because we've lost Robbo and Tsimikas and we ain't got another left back. I'm like, you do know Man City don't have a left back, yeah? Like Man City ain't got a left back. Like Man City have not got an actual left back. They use centre backs at left back. I mean, what? They haven't actually got a left back. Liverpool got 2 left backs. Unfortunately, they got the same injury. Yeah, it's not Liverpool's fault that they didn't wake up one day and go, "Oh shit, what if both left backs get a shoulder or a collarbone injury in the same season?" I mean, it's not a recruitment issue. That's just bad luck. You can't replace injured players constantly.
Jamie, someone just wrote in the chat, have you seen Paulinia's Instagram post? Can we do some breaking news? Do you want to bring that up?
I ain't got Instagram.
Oh. Hang on, let me have a look on my computer.
Instagram's a dating site.
I use it for music because I'm a producer. Hang on.
Oh, I know you do, yeah.
I'm going to have a look now. Sorry if you're looking up my nose.
No, you're all right. If you share it, then I'll bring it up. Yeah, big up, G. Hope you're doing well, man. Who said about the Instagram page, anyway? So Colin says we have a far better squad this time around. Exactly. The squad's better. Everyone keeps going back to 2 years ago, 3 years ago when we were caught short and didn't. And it's a different squad now. It's a different squad. So, who said about Polinia? No, the squad's better now, G, man. It just is. It just is. Not just first 11, G. It's the whole squad, my friend. We had a better first 11, but we didn't have the backups behind it. Now we have the backups. It's a better squad.
Hello?
I can hear. It was Polinia standing in between our lads during the free kick, just him. Oh, was it? Why was he standing in the middle of our lads? No, I don't think I'll be shocked if Pellegrini goes to Liverpool. I just don't think Liverpool go pay 60 or 70 million for a 27-year-old. I just don't think it. I just don't think it'll happen. I really don't. Yeah, that's what I said. I love Liverpool. I mean, I think we are 12 months ahead of schedule, which is a great thing because this team's only going to get better, in my opinion. People like Gravenberch will get better. People like Szoboszlai will get better. People like Picasso will get better. Endo will get better. If Liverpool can get that DM, look, Liverpool might be after Bruno Guimaraes, which I didn't know this about Bruno. I don't know about you, K-Mac, but I didn't know about this of Bruno. His release clause of 98 million is over 3 transfer windows. It don't all have to be paid up at once.
Oh.
It's over 3 transfer windows. So it's the summer you buy him, January and summer. And it's 98 million. So you break it down in 30 odd million pound installments, which actually gives Liverpool a little bit of a chance of going in for Bruno Guimaraes.
I mean, that's.
So.
I mean, that's.
I wouldn't. That wouldn't. I mean,
Bruno. How many midfielders do we want to play? Like,
yeah,
seriously.
but Bruno's the kind of DM.
Oh, I know, but someone's got to go. Someone has to go.
I think someone will. I think Thiago will probably go. So, like, Bruno is the sort of DM that Liverpool want. You know, he's that kind of DM that Liverpool are after. So, I won't be surprised. Another thing that shocks me is that apparently no Premier League clubs are after Andre all of a sudden.
I know, that's funny, isn't it?
And Andre now regrets not agreeing to join Liverpool in the summer.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? That's
you had your
so
chance,
funny.
man. You had your chance. Liverpool wanted to buy you in January, and then Liverpool, and you said no, and you thought Liverpool would go wait, and they didn't wait. They went and got players in. You know, it's just.
Can someone type in the chat how you spell Pellegrini? Because I can't find this. This Instagram post. Or has someone already said what it is?
Yeah, it's him standing in. It's just him standing in the wall with Liverpool players. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I thought it was something to do with like a transfer or something, and he's like said something.
About the same size as Zola.
Fulham aren't even interested in Andre now.
It's mad. Like the interest has gone dead in him. You know, City were interested. Now they've called off. Do you know what it is? It's this bloody Premier League sustainability thing. No one can afford to go and do these transfers at the moment without selling players. And it's calling the interest of everyone. I said this January would be quiet. I think I was on Never a Foul just before Christmas, and I said on there, I reckon the January transfer window will be quiet. And it's looking that way at the moment. I think there will be deals, but I'll be surprised if there's any massive transfers this January. I'm really shocked. Stack in the chat. Big up to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, my man?
So we spent about 110 million, like not net spend, but we spent about 110 million on our transfers. Yeah, but we've also had another. We spent another, I think it's 15 million on Nunez, because we hit like one of the first, like one of those clauses, which meant that like I think he had to play like 30 games or something like that. That makes sense. So we have to pay that as well. So we are paying out extra fees, but we've also had fees come in as well. I just think that what we're doing now in this window is really smart business, as in getting players back who are not having good loans and making sure they go back out to have better loans.
Carvalho played tonight. Anyone see Thingy Screamer, by the way? Tyler Morton Screamer for Hull.
Tyler Morton loves a screamer, doesn't he?
But yeah,
Carvalho look at him as well.
Today, so.
Like Tyler Morton's like an England under-21. Like he's very, very well rated by Lee Carsley, and also Klopp rates him as well.
Yeah, I'm going to get on some of our players with this.
You've got Fabio and Morton at the same club there. Like,
yeah, Carvalho started today. This is what Liverpool wanted. They want Carvalho playing games.
Yeah,
you know, so he weren't playing at Leipzig, and the Leipzig coach had something to say about that, didn't they? Big up Honesty says breaking news: England may not be back until February after the Manchester City striker suffered a setback. He got a stress-related injury. Interesting.
Haaland is injury prone. Like, that is a fact.
Yeah, last season he
Gets
stayed
injuries.
injury-free, but this season it's starting to catch up with him a little bit.
He plays so much football. Like, he's played
he's a
so much
lump
football
as well.
as a kid.
He's a big boy as well, and and he's quick. He's aggressive.
Still only 22.
And
he plays on the edge.
The blood circulating through your oxygen circulating going through your blood with them. He's a big lad. He will get muscle injuries. He just will. Last season he went well without them, but yeah, he's a good player, Haaland. I think, I know they got Alvarez there. I do think Alvarez is slightly overrated. People go on about him like he's just like this world-class striker. He's not a world-class striker at all.
No,
good footballer though. Really good footballer, but slightly overrated. I think a centre-back though is definitely needed this January. I would go and get if Liverpool got an eye on a defender this January and it's possible for them to go and buy him instead of waiting to the summer. I mean, the money's there this January and the money's there this summer. It's not like the money's going to appear out of nowhere in the summer compared to the money being available in January. So if Liverpool really wanted and the defender's there, just go and get the defender in this January. And it just gives us a little bit of over the edge, just gives us that edge because then, you don't have to rely on, Konate is in tremendous form right now. At this moment in time, Konate is the best defender in the Premier League. Right at this moment in time, form-wise, the way he's playing is immense. If he can keep this up and get rid of them bozo moments like he has done for the last few weeks, that Konate, that's different gravy.
We're having a different show.
Yeah, Konate's different, man. Konate's awesome. Him and Virgil. You've got Gerald Kwanzaa there who's been the find of the year. It's just amazing.
Doesn't it feel like Konate's playing well because someone's on his heels?
Yeah. And that's why Robbo started playing well when Tsimikas came in. You got players there who can
competition helps.
Look, Kwanzaa and Virgil, Kwanzaa and Konate played as a centre-back partnership, and Konate led the line.
I was against Arsenal away, by the way.
Konate, you're a leader. Jesus, I didn't know you had this in you.
It was good.
He's a good player, man. He's a good player. Big up, man. Thank you very much. I want to talk about our academy.
That's such a Man City thing. Someone's wrote that in the chat, by the way. Haaland goes to Real Madrid, and they sign Manchester City sign Osimhen or Mbappe.
Does everyone highly rate Osimhen?
I think he'd do well at City. Like, I don't think he'd do too well at us. Like, because he can't play the channels. He can't play left or right. Like, we kind of need players that can do that.
He had a great year last year. There's no doubt about it. Form-wise,
I don't know, mate. He could literally be like an Ivan Toney, like just like have a really good season.
I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just asking everyone in the chat how they feel about Osimhen because he is highly touted. Everyone talks a lot about him. I think last season, form-wise, he was arguably one of the best forwards in the world. There's no doubt about that. But I never remember anyone talking about Osimhen the years before that. And then this year, it's very quiet, isn't it? And I don't know why that is. Because I don't watch Italian football, so I don't know.
Tell you what, on Football Manager, he is mental. I'm not unbelievable.
Sure
and FIFA.
I'm not too sure on.
George does like him though. George signed him for 200,000, by the way, from some African team, for Wolfsburg, and then sold him.
Yeah, it's like the Kevin on the wing that plays for Napoli. I'm not sure on him either. I'm not.
It's a risk you take, which I'd rather Chelsea did, or
Arsenal. I'm not sure on him either. I'm really not sure on him either. George Smack and the club have an agreement that they would talk at the end of February over his future. Smack is not sure what he will decide. His contract is ending in June. Yeah, big up to George. He got rid of all the deadwood.
He did. He
Came
had
in
a
and
hard
did a
job.
job. Now, people might not rate George Mack, and that's fine, yeah. But he's the only sporting director that somehow got rid of all the deadwood. Michael Edwards wanted to get rid of a lot of the deadwood while he was still sporting director, but
And
he
he wouldn't
couldn't.
let him.
But George got rid of all the deadwood. You know, he made sure he made contacts, made sure people came in for him and went, "You're not rejecting these transfers," and just got rid.
Can I just give you a mad
That's
prediction?
the one, keep it level. Kevin, because I can't pronounce his name, so I call him Kevin.
Can I just give you a mad prediction and see if the chat believe me on this one as well? Who thinks Jordan Henderson will end up at Crystal Palace?
I think he's going to Ajax. That's the rumours.
Who thinks he would be a player under Hodge?
Jordan, look, I'm going to say it right now.
100%.
Jordan
I think he'll go there.
Jordan Henderson works at Palace.
He works, doesn't he? He's perfect for
that.
Palace.
Just makes sense. That just makes sense, man. Jordan Henderson.
I think he's a bit old for Moyes. I think he's just a little bit too old for Moyes.
Well, the rumours at the moment is that Ajax want Jordan Henderson.
Oh, okay.
If Jordan Henderson
well
somehow,
Ajax.
can you imagine if he goes to Ajax and he looks back in his career and he played for Liverpool and Ajax? He just put his feet up and go, "Yeah, I had a career, man. I had a career." Jordan, I'm going to say one thing. You made your bed, man. You made your bed, and that's all I'm going to say on it. You know,
yep.
That's all I'm going to say on it. Conor Bradley.
Oh.
Conor Bradley. Now
he's like a Robbo regen.
He's like a right back Robbo, ain't he?
If he was on the left, we'd just be like, there you go.
Do you see what Klopp said about him? He'll probably fall asleep in the changing rooms.
And
like, apparently Klopp asked him if he like, "Are you all right?" And he went, "You ain't taking me effing off." You know, I love that. I love that about him.
Have you heard his interviews? Have you heard him talk?
Yeah, he wants to play.
Check him out on chat. Check him out on LFC TV. He did an interview after the game. He is so well spoken, like for such a young guy,
and he
talks like a proper professional.
He does.
Really respect him.
He even he's got Robbo's stance when he runs.
He has got Robbo's stance.
That hunched over. Yep. Oh, and his energy, man. The man is pure energy. Absolute pure energy. And he's not just that. He's actually good on the ball. He put in some lovely crosses. How about that cross to Darwin when that keeper made that save?
Someone's just wrote Henderson to Newcastle. Do you know where Henderson started his career?
Yeah, son.
If he went there, he'd end up getting killed.
I know because I know Ant quite well. I know why Ant's saying that. I know why Ant is saying that. Bigger Ant. I know why Ant is saying that. I get it.
Oh, that's cracked me up.
I know why he's saying it.
Sorry, mate. Go on. Sorry.
No, I look at Conor Bradley, man, and I think he's good on the ball. He puts in some nice crosses. His crosses are just not in the air as well. They'll cross the ground. He's putting in good balls in the box. And he defends all right. There's nothing wrong with his defending. He defends well.
Was it 4 out of 4 drills?
I mean, didn't he lock up Martinelli when he came on?
Yeah, he locked up Martinelli.
And then he looked good against Fulham. All Fulham's good chances came down our left.
Yeah.
That's where all Fulham's good chances came from.
He locked up William, apart from the goal. I mean, their goal was... He slipped, didn't he, when he was trying to get to him? That was just unfortunate. But
yeah, I
went through our goalkeeper. Like our reserve goalkeeper is just not good enough. Like he's just not good enough.
What's everyone in the chat think about Caoimhin Kelleher? Do you think Alisson would have saved that?
I've got a ridiculous stat about him as well. Like ridiculous.
Would you keep playing Caoimhin? Everyone in chat right now, let me know in the chat right now. If Liverpool are 90 minutes away from the final, that Fulham have got to score 2 goals without us scoring at their ground. I'm not saying that's unrealistic or anything, but you'd fancy Liverpool to score goals no matter where they play. Yeah. So you fancy Liverpool to score goals. If Liverpool get to the final, which fingers crossed they should, do you play Caoimhin Kelleher in the Europa League final? In the Carabao Cup final. Does he play? Does everyone trust him to play in the final? Or would you stick Alisson in? What would you do, K-Mac, if we get to that final?
Ali plays the next game.
Especially if it's Chelsea. You know,
No,
Chelsea
I mean,
not in the top four yet.
Ali plays against Fulham away for
You
me.
give him Fulham away.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one because by the sound of it, they've made promises to Carvalho that he's going to play
To Kelleher.
Kelleher all the Europa League games, even the final. Now, a few years ago, obviously, he did. He played the final against Chelsea, saved the match-winning penalty, and we won the cup. So he's our League Cup goalkeeper, but he's not as good as he was 2 or 3 years ago. 2 years ago, that's the issue. He's not as comfortable. He doesn't look as confident. He don't look as good as he was a couple of years ago. And I understand. I remember when the team sheet came out the other day and people saw Kelleher was playing, and I see a lot of people fuming saying it's a semi-final, man. Alisson should play. You know, if we want to go and win this cup, just play your number one. But
Do you want to give you a mad stat on Kelleher? It's a mad stat, by the way, this one. 37 shots on goal, 15 goals conceded.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
That's and those are shots on goal. Like, he's not making saves at all. You know when you see a goalkeeper, like just for example, we used Leno. Leno made like 2 saves that you're not meant to make. You know what I mean? You're not meant to make those saves.
That Darwin save was excellent. I think
they're all world-class saves. Like, you're not meant to make those saves. Like, Kelleher doesn't make any of those saves. He doesn't make saves that you're not meant to make. Like, and a lot of his goals that go past him are at him. Like, they're not like in the top bin or like far corner. They're literally at him. They're like near post or through him or facing him. Like, they're not great goals. Look at them all. Like, chat, seriously. Go on YouTube and have a look at Kelleher's goals conceded. Like, he reminds me of Mignolet. Like, he's played 30 competitive games for Liverpool in his career, and he's 25 years old. It's just not good enough. Like, there's a reason why you have older reserve goalkeepers, because they played loads of games and they've got experience to just come in and
I
do
agree
a job.
with this. I agree with this. I don't think you should have a youth goalkeeper as your number 2.
I don't think so.
No. That's why Liverpool. That's why I don't know if everyone in chat knows this. So Liverpool apparently looking at Kasper Schmeichel for the number 2 next season.
It makes perfect sense. It just does.
Getting Kasper Schmeichel in as their number 2. He's going to be 36, 37, but he's an older goalkeeper with a lot of experience and can come in 1 or 2 games and do a job. The problem with having a youth goalkeeper is that you get what you're getting now. Because he doesn't play, he's got no rhythm. So he can't, he makes a mistake. Then, like, if Alisson made a mistake in his next game, Alisson would still play the next game after that and then get rid of that mistake. Where Caoimhin Kelleher, if he's making the mistakes like he is, he's then sitting on the bench and not playing another game for a few weeks.
And he's not playing for the B team either. And he's not playing for the under-21s.
Yeah, and he hasn't got enough time to get rid of that mistake, so it keeps playing on his mind. What Kelleher needs, when he makes a mistake, he needs to play the following game, make a good save, and then that mistake gets out of his mind. He doesn't think about it no more. So when he's making mistakes right now, he then sits bench and thinks about it because he's a young goalkeeper. When you're an older goalkeeper with that experience and you've been there and done it and seen everything and know it, and you got the T-shirt and all that, you're more mature and you can get rid of them mistakes out of your head. But Caoimhin's a young lad who doesn't play, and it looks like it's starting to really affect his mentality when he's on the pitch. So I would personally, if Liverpool think Kelleher's the future, then they can't sell him. And they just have to sign into a new contract and loan him out. What Kelleher needs is a 2-year loan. Do you remember when Chelsea did it with Courtois? When they had Cech as their goalkeeper, they gave him a 2-year loan to Atletico Madrid. And he just played at Atletico Madrid for 2 years. Then he came back as their number 1 goalkeeper. And then he went to Real Madrid. And I'm not saying Kelleher's that quality or anything like that, but I think that's what Liverpool need to do. If they think Kelleher's their future, then he needs to play every week. So you should sign into a new deal and then loan him out to a club where you know he's going to be the number one goalkeeper and loan him for 2 years and just let him play. And then when you get him back, you've got a far better goalkeeper. And then you can do two things. He's your future number one after Alisson, and you've seen he's been brilliant in them 2 years he's been away. Or you've just made his market value go way up, and you get a really good transfer fee for him. So I think Liverpool have been a bit. I think they sort of just let Kelleher go under the, sort of just forgot about him in a way, almost, in my opinion.
I feel like he didn't push hard enough for a move.
Mm.
He should have pushed for a move. He could have got a move. Like, he was available. He was available last season to sell. Like, we all know that. Like Tottenham, Brentford, Brighton, the number of teams were sniffing around him. Like, I really feel like I mean, he'd be better than the Brentford keeper. He's absolutely terrible. Their goalkeeper, what's his name? Flecking. He's absolutely useless, that guy. I think he'd be better than him. But, you know, for me, he's not the future for Liverpool either. If you look at the way Michael Edwards went with goalkeepers, he liked Polish goalkeepers, because we had like 4 of them at one stage, and we've now got a goalkeeper called Gabara. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Does the chat remember him? He's now got a move from Copenhagen to Wolfsburg, so we'll get some money for him. He is unbelievable. Cabral Gabara, he's absolutely a brilliant goalkeeper. Like, he's our future goalkeeper, because he's only like 26, I think. So we could be getting him in a couple of years, maybe, or a year or two. Like, I think he could be a really, really, really top goalkeeper. And we've also got Jaros, who's Polish, as under 21 goalkeeper.
Yeah, he just signed a new deal, didn't he?
Yeah, he's gone out on loan. So he's had a couple of loans.
Well.
Yeah, he's had a couple of loans. I don't think Petaluga's it. I don't think Petaluga's it.
No, but Jaros, I think the club really rate him. So
he's had a couple of bad loans. He's gone to St. Patrick's now. Petaluga, which is like the Irish league. Like, come on, seriously.
Like, I think they just want him to play football, don't they?
Yeah, they just want to play football.
They just want him to play football, so they gave him a new deal. But he's a young lad, goalkeepers, you can be 26, 27 and just come into the team and be a really good goalkeeper, because goalkeepers can go. But Russell's got it at 21. James Trafford is Burnley's number one goalkeeper. And he won the under 21, so he's the under 21 goalkeeper as well, number one there. And he's Man City's youth goalkeeper. Man City is like, they haven't made him their second choice. They went
Burnley's previous goalkeeper. This is a stat as well, by the way. Won Player of the Season when they got promoted to the Premier League, and then got binned for Trafford. Like, how mad is that? Like, he's the Macedonian international. He's the Macedonian international goalkeeper. He got Player of the Season for them, and then Vincent Kompany sacked him off for a 21-year-old. I mean, he's a good goalkeeper, Trafford, like, no doubt. Like, Man City had to sell him as well, by the way. Man City had to sell Cole Palmer, by the way. It's now come out that Cole Palmer didn't want to leave, but
he's
they
only
needed
gone on
to get
loan,
the money. They needed the money.
And he only gone on loan?
No, they sold him for 35 million.
Mm.
And they sold Trafford for 20 million.
I thought it was a loan to buy.
What? Cole Palmer?
Yeah,
I think he went for 35 million.
Like Raya, because Raya only went on loan, didn't he?
I thought it was 35 million.
It might have been 35 million.
I might be wrong, mate.
But yeah, Cole Palmer didn't want to, because there's things about Cole Palmer going back next season. So I don't know if it was a loan to buy and the value is 35 million. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, look, Ali's going to be Liverpool goalkeeper. As long as he wants to stay at Liverpool, he'll stay at Liverpool. I just don't see Ali ever leaving Liverpool unless, it's going to take a ridiculous transfer fee. I would take the only way Ali leaves Liverpool is it's a ridiculous transfer fee Liverpool can't turn down, or he doesn't sign a new deal. That's the only one. And he only recently signed a new deal. So Ali's not going anywhere for a while. So yeah, and that's Kelleher's issue. So, and he's a young man who needs to play. He needs to go.
He should have pushed to leave. Like Gabara pushed for a move, and he got one to Copenhagen, and then he had a brilliant couple of seasons with Copenhagen, and now he's playing in the Bundesliga for Wolfsburg. Fair play to
go
him.
and play, man.
He's a top
I think
goalkeeper.
I think Queven Kelleher, if he plays football and gets back to his old self, he can be a good number one somewhere. There's no doubt about it. But he's regressing because he doesn't play and he's a young footballer.
He just doesn't play, mate.
It's no
30 games. 30 games for Liverpool. That's just not enough.
No, it's not.
Enough.
It's not. It's not at all. Before we go end this up, I just want to say, obviously, the sad news about Sven Goran Eriksson this week.
Yeah.
It's a sad news. Given, I think he had a stroke, like multiple little strokes, and they did tests on him, and I think they found a brain tumor. And now he's only got 12 months, and they can't operate, so they've given him 12 months to live. It's a shame. And he's just done an interview with Sky News today. And on that Sky News thing, I didn't know this, but he's a massive Liverpool fan. He's a huge, huge Liverpool fan. He was telling Sky News today, and he's told Sky News he wished his dream was always to manage Liverpool Football Club. That was his dream, and it never came true. He wanted to manage Liverpool Football Club. Yeah,
I would have had him rather than Hodgson.
He's a massive, massive Liverpool fan. But it's Scandinavian, there's a lot of Liverpool fans in Scandinavia, ain't there? So, yeah, it's a shame, man. He's a great football person.
He was a good England manager, by the way. He was a good England manager.
He was just at a time when there was so much talent around the world.
So much talent
in international football. It was international football when Sven was a manager for England was at its highest for talent in teams around the world. He's a good manager, a good football person. It's so horrible, man. It's horrible. And it was at Notts County. I think the Notts County stuff was a bit of a PR stunt by the owner, wasn't it? Yeah,
they had loads of money then, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave him
buying like £1 million players in the
gave him money
fourth
they
division.
couldn't turn down. It was a bit of a PR stunt. They knew what they were doing over there. They knew what they were doing. But I think that might happen if Liverpool know about this. If there's a charity game, they should make Sven the manager in the charity Liverpool game or something like that. If he's up to it, that is. We don't know what his condition will be like or anything like that. But yeah, great football person. It's so sad, so sad. But guys, that's our take on the. It's a good point. I love Liverpool. That's a good point. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because he's still a young man. He's not that old at all. He's still a young man in this day and age, in a way. Guys, that's our take on Darwin Nunez, on Gravenberch, and Liverpool stuff at the moment. Transfers. Me calling certain players overrated that I know I'm going to get shot down for, but come at me, I don't care.
Oh my God! And Dicko there, mate. Bring that up. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. Liverpool 5, Germany 1.
Love that.
I remember that.
He was also going out with Ulrika Johnson.
Yeah, big up, man.
Big up.
Like, maybe if you look at Eureka now, but let's go back 20 years ago, guys. It was different. Big up, Paranormal. Big up, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Look, at Mine and K-Max takes and Mine and K-Max takes. You guys don't have to agree with us. It's all cool. It's just our takes on things. But big up the chat. You're all amazing as usual. I might be back tomorrow. So watch out for a video tomorrow night, guys. A Saturday night video. Why not? I'm going to talk about the old FFP and Premier League sustainability drama going on at the moment with all the football clubs and looking at what Liverpool need to do in January and summer. So look out for that, guys. Yeah,
you're doing a late one. You're doing a late one again.
Yeah, it might be another late one tomorrow.
Give me a shout.
So, guys, look out for that. Me and K-Mac might be back tomorrow night. Yeah. So, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you all joining us on this Friday night. Don't forget to go and like the video on your way out if you've not liked it already. And subscribe to K-Mac's channel, of course. These channels.
Yeah, sub to my channel, please. I'm close to 200. 200 is
like
a milestone. So that'd be great.
Just go and subscribe to K-Mac's channel. There's his channel.
Can someone put my link in the chat, please? That'd be amazing.
Yeah, guys, leave the link in the chat to K-Mac's channel. I'd appreciate
like 186. Like, every little helps.
Josh, we don't have a league game this weekend, man. We haven't got a game till next weekend now. We have no game till next weekend. Yeah, it's There are
And then
some
we've
good
got
games
like,
though this weekend.
and then
I
we've
think
got
it's
like,
Newcastle, Man City, Tottenham, Man United, or is it Tottenham? Yeah, Tottenham, Man United, and Newcastle, Man City this weekend.
yeah, we've got like 5 games in like 15 days after that or something stupid like that. Isn't it?
Mostly cup games.
And we've got a 12:30 kickoff again, and we've got some absolute dogs refs again. We've got Tierney on VAR for Bournemouth, by the way.
Yes, yeah.
How is that allowed? Like
I don't know.
How are we allowed to have that ref as well? Like against Fulham, he is so bad with us. Coot.
Awful.
He's the one that never sent Pickford off, by the way.
Yeah.
For that tackle
And
on.
One thing before we leave: why are Liverpool players the only ones to get booked for dissent?
Oh my God, mate! We'll talk about this tomorrow.
I know
we'll talk about this tomorrow.
Guys,
yeah.
But why? I forgot to mention this. Why are Liverpool players the only one booked for dissent? And why is Virgil van Dijk the only footballer I've known to get more suspension to his time he already had for swearing at a ref? Why has no one else been punished like this? It's mad. It's absolutely mad.
Mate. Double
all
standards.
The time, like dissent. Liverpool player booked for hardly any dissent.
Crazy. And the thing about it is, our dissent is because they're not doing their jobs properly. So it's like, why didn't you book their player? You've just booked ours for the same thing, and then they go, "Oh, we'll book you anyway for dissent."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Szoboszlai is meant to be in the squad for the Bournemouth game. Fingers crossed. Trent will definitely, for me, be back by the Chelsea game at the end of the month. This winter break's come at a good time for Liverpool, to be fair.
Yeah.
This winter break's just come at a good time for Liverpool. And they've only got 2 Premier League games this month, the rest of the cup games. So it's come at a good time for Liverpool. So I'm not panicking like a lot of Liverpool fans are. But look, me and K-Mac will chat about that tomorrow night, guys. We'll chat about all that tomorrow night. Guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.